Glad to still be with you. And I mentioned the concept, something I learned about just, I'd say, about a couple of months ago when I first had a conversation with these gentlemen, the concept of something called restorative justice and what that is, what that means for this community. I had no idea, so I'm going to let these two guys describe it because it really is just a really kind of fascinating concept that I think makes so much sense once you think about it. I am joined by Brandon Contant. He's been here on the show before, and it's nice to have you back. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, a pleasure. Well, thanks for coming back. And Brandon shared an incredible story with us last time, so it's really cool to see him back here sitting in the seat. And then Devin Effinger is here as well. He is the Assistant Director of Survive. What is Survive?
So Survive is a local nonprofit 501c3. We've been in the Valley since 2008. And we do a myriad of services. You know, like you mentioned, restorative justice is a program that we do in the jail that's proven to reduce recidivism, and it helps a lot of those guys that are in jail, guys and gals, to rebuild their lives and heal families and leave jail and never have to come back, you know, with the tools that they learn in class and a lot of the things that we do.
I like that.
We've seen a lot of success.
Well, that's the one that obviously stuck in my head, but you said a myriad of services. What are some of the other services that Survive provides?
So a big focus for us too is with the youth in our community. We do a lot of things like we did our second annual after homecoming event at the Back Bowl and Eagle for the Eagle Valley High School. And the idea there is to provide a place where they can come bowl, have fun after, you know, homecoming, and show them that they don't have to go out and party just to have fun. And we have prizes and, you know, over 200 kids in attendance both years, and it's really cool. And we do there's an alternative 420 event at Weckmer that we do. We just did it. It was our 4th year. And we bring speakers and we show the kids once again, like, you know, the importance of their decisions they're making at this time in their life, and it means something when the speaker has been in their shoes, you know, and they can relate because the speaker knows where they're at.
Yeah.
And whereas, you know.
So this is April 20th, for those of you wondering, 420. It's kind of the, I don't know if it is anymore, but it used to be the cop handle, the signal for when someone was using marijuana. It's the big, you have to smoke marijuana on 420. And yeah, I just, you know, in case Grandma, you know, from Minturn was listening, I had to throw that out. But tell me, if, you know, how would I know, to be honest? Right. Stop grinning at me when we're talking about this. there's some cool services that go on there. And I think that's really neat that you're showing kids, especially kids, I mean, that there's an opportunity to go something else. Brandon, how'd you get involved with Survive?
Well, I actually met Devin and Deb, the director of our services, in custody. I was serving time at Eagle County Jail. It was the last stop on my tour of Colorado's facilities, and I started attending some classes that they offered there. After my second or third set of classes, I started listening to what they were saying, decided that maybe they knew what they were talking about. Like I said last time, I was having a bad run, and I was well on my way to going right back to what I was doing. So they've kind of given me tools and the support I've needed to, you know, get my life back on track and do something productive and worthwhile.
And it sounds like you have. I mean, from all the stories that we had, and for those of you who don't remember, it was a couple months ago, we had an interview and you told your story, and I mean, went into detail, told the whole story. The phone rings right after the interview's over, and it's your dad on the phone, and he asked for me, and he said, thanks for interviewing my son, and can you tell him that I'm just really proud of him? And then we all started tearing up in the studio, and it was just really nice.
Yeah,
so
it was awesome.
You and your dad still doing pretty well?
We are. I actually just talked to him on my way down here, and he's tuning in right now. So
right out, Dad, we're listening to you. Don't call and make me cry again, all right? It was too nice last time. But like you said, you have really kind of moved on from this program. It's really started to help you out. Why did you want to come back and help out?
Well, I mean, just to give people a little notice what was going on before. I was living on the streets pretty much. I was doing a lot of drugs. Nothing was going right for me. I hated the world, and I like being a part of this because it gives me an opportunity to show people that maybe I can help or whatnot, that were in my shoes or they're going to be released soon and they don't know what they're going to do. They'll go right back to what they were doing before.
Yeah.
And I like being able to show them that, you know, there is a better way. You can change. You don't have to go back to doing the same thing. If you weren't happy, you can change. You can do different things. And I like being able to be one of the tools in showing people that.
I think that's really cool. And I think I appreciate that you say it's from your shoes, you know, and that because people will listen to you. The same thing you were saying about the 420 event, that having people who have been there before. That's what people listen to right now. Do you see a lot of the people who have been a part of the Survive program wanting to kind of give back in the way that Brandon is giving back?
Absolutely. You know what? The guys that are doing, and gals that are doing the work, when they get out, they have an interest in getting involved, and they volunteer and they speak, and upon release, when they choose to stay involved, it just kind of provides that extended structure on the outside, and once again, like an outlet to use their what may be perceived as negative experiences to help save someone, or help maybe divert a kid who might be going in the same path, and that's such a beautiful thing, because I think when you're able to use your life experiences that, like I said, may be perceived as negative, you can use it to help somebody, and it gives purpose to that, and I think that's a really cool part of that.
Well, and Brandon telling them they have a choice, because there are times in life where it feels like you don't have a choice, and you shared with us before that you were there. You felt like you didn't have a choice until someone said, you really do. You can change this. You can write your own story, and you ended up doing it. And it seems like, the beginning was a little rough, but it looks like your story's going to end up pretty good.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I'm now full-time with them, and like we were talking about earlier, the Rittenhouse opening up, I'm excited to be a part of that, and just the whole...
I know, I just got handed ice cream. It always changes the conversation. All right, I'll share in a little bit. We'll talk ice cream, but I think that's really cool. And you mentioned Rittenhouse, so let's talk about that. What is the Rittenhouse?
So the Rittenhouse it used to be in existence. It was a restaurant and inn in Gypsum, and they closed for reasons that are not. It wasn't us. We bought the property in June of last year with the intent to open up the restaurant, and it'll be a coffee house restaurant, but to also provide some transitional support. Whereas, a big problem that we saw is we do all this work inside the jail, and then when we get it, when our the people get out of jail, like let's say they go for an interview, and the person's like, "Where have you been the past year or 6 months?" And I've been in jail, and chances are that person, due to stigma, isn't going to give them the job.
Yeah.
Thus making it really hard to do the right thing when everything in that person wants to change.